Good day everyone. So there's a lot of misinformation when it comes to the role of a healer in Nilou Bloom teams, and often the advice that a lot of people will give you is that YaoYao has better burst healing than Kokomi, and therefore she's power crept Kokomi, and why would you ever use Kokomi? Well, obviously YaoYao can't heal for 69k like my Barbara can, and hopefully you've now understood that it's not about the raw numbers that you put out in terms of healing, it's all about how your units interplay in a Nilou Bloom team. You see, a lot of people kind of mistake this. They sort of think that, oh, I can just swap out Kokomi for YaoYao and that's the end of it, but that's not how these teams work. These teams very much depend on the interaction effects between how your different units apply their Dendro or their Hydro. So when it comes to the healing numbers, that is secondary to the actual elemental application, the rotation, the sort of flavor that you're playing with your Nilou Bloom team. And this is the big thing that a lot of people kind of miss. When it really comes down to Kokomi versus YaoYao, it's not even a question you should even be asking yourself. What you should be asking yourself is, how can I optimally use this combination of characters such that I can maximize my Dendro Core production while still reasonably keeping my team like alive and so on. And the only way you can really sort of do this is to practice your Nilou Bloom teams, understand when you need to be iframing, where you should be positioning, etc, etc. So a lot of the times when people want to put down one or two characters, they kind of miss the entire plot, or sort of like the entire idea behind these teams. And unfortunately, for a lot of people that are hating on Kokomi and sort of think that YaoYao's replaced her, we kind of know from speedrunning at the C0 and at the C6 level that on a very consistent basis, if you had to do this 100 times over and over, the team with Nilou, Nahida, Kole and Kokomi will, for the majority of the time, just perform that much better than a Xingshu sort of YaoYao combination. That is unfortunately just the fact. If you don't like it, you don't need to like it, but that is what we've seen experimentally. And even if someone were to sort of prove mathematically that no, YaoYao is always better, even if the developers wrote me a letter and said, you're an idiot, YaoYao will always be better according to every single metric, and someone got a Nobel Prize for proving that YaoYao is better, it still wouldn't change the fact that you can get good results. So it's not about one is better than the other, like a binary decision. It would then become a question of, well, to what extent is the one better than the other one? And obviously for different people on different accounts, this question will obviously have different implications. By the way, one of the little things that a lot of people also kind of miss with Kokomi teams is that whilst characters like Xingshu and Yelan can provide a lot of damage on the field, because they apply too much Hydro, your Dendro Core production can actually suffer. So even in single target cases like you can see here, the sort of clearing times are a lot closer in an AoE versus a single target than you might have thought. But once again, this will obviously also change with circumstances. In any case, so from my perspective, the big takeaway from this video is have a healer on your team, understand their role in terms of Dendro or Hydro sort of like cores and application, and then just sort of adjust your gameplay accordingly. It's not a competition, they're all awesome. Cheers.